This video is brought to you by Hit Point Press and their Big Bad Booklet series, and by Steam Forged Games and their upcoming Kickstarter for Animal Adventures, The Faraway Sea. Hello and welcome to The Gallant Goblin. If you've been around here for a little while, the one product that you've probably heard me talk about more than any other is the Big Bad Booklet series by our friends and sponsor Hit Point Press, previously known as the Deck of Many. The Big Bad Booklet series is a monthly print and PDF supplement for 5th edition D&D that gives you a new monster each month to use as the basis for a one-shot adventure or to drop into your ongoing campaigns. With the current Big Bad, Rereleasing, we've now had 24 total Big Bads. From the very first Big Bad Daniel, the failed attempt at a flesh golem, through Golathank, the disgruntled gnomish toy maker, to King Blurk, my personal favorite, the highfalutin gelatinous cube mob boss. They've really covered the whole spectrum of D&D villains. But each book gives you a whole backstory, gives you role-playing information, layer information, minion stat blocks, and potential story hooks so you can connect it to your ongoing stories. Today, we're going to have a chat with one of the founding members of Hit Point Press and the project manager for the Big Bad Booklet series, Mr. Jordan Richer. I'm going to ask him about the series, how potential writers and artists can get in on the project, and maybe we'll touch base on the future of Hit Point Press, including maybe what's happening with Humblewood. But before we jump in, I just wanted to let you know that we've just released our new entry in the Fight Your Mini series, the Tomb Tapper from, not the Tilly Tapper, but the Tomb Tapper from Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frost Maiden. If you have this mini, our supplement will give you everything you need to incorporate it into your adventures. We'll give you extensive lore and expert NPCs who can share that lore with your PCs, new stat blocks to suit different tiers of play, 4 new encounters, and new loot and magical items tied to the Tomb Tapper. You can find it on dmsguild.com, or you can use the link in the video description down below. And if you join our newsletter, you can get 25% off. All the info is in the doohickey down below. So, without further ado, let's welcome Jordan to the Gallant Goblin. Jordan, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
How are you doing over there?
Oh, well, I was mentioning before, we're in the middle of a heat wave here in Ottawa, but believe it or not, Canada gets warm. So, yeah, but hanging in there. Thank you.
Yeah, that was new to me, that up in Ottawa, it can get over 100 degrees, I guess, fairly regularly in the summertime.
Yeah, we don't get a lot of spring or fall. It's just either hot or cold. So, yeah.
Oh, man. Well, yeah, no, stay cool over there. Stay hydrated. No worries there. But I wanted to talk to you today about the Big Bad Booklet series. Have you been with it since the beginning?
Yeah, I've been project managing it since Daniel, day one. So, it's been quite a ride. And then winning the ENnie, of course, an ENnie for it last year really solidified that we are on to something cool. So.
Was this your brainchild, or was it a team project?
Honestly, Daniel was almost a joke. It was based on sort of this a pun, or as all good things are, and kind of an inside joke between my boss and I and his partner. And but then we started thinking about, what we wanted to start a Patreon for our D&D stuff, and we were trying to think about what would work there. And I'm a big fan of boss monsters and with interesting backstories, and as at the time, especially, I was sort of the resident D&D expert. So, and since this would be a lot of a fairly mechanically heavy kind of project too, it just made sense. And since then, yeah, I've been curating, I guess, every Big Bad that's come out since. So.
But I think you've done more than just curate and project lead. You've done a lot of the writing. You've done, I think, even some of the interior art. Is that right?
There's one that I illustrated the interiors and wrote fully, and that's Pork and Bean. My background, I went to school for animation, so cartoony art has always been something that I've been doing. I illustrated the original Deck of Many cards, the basic monster cards and stuff. But yeah, I am something of an editor on them now, and sometimes I hop in to do some writing when we need some fleshed out stuff. But I really don't want to take the credit away from all the amazing artists and writers that we do have, because each book, just like mine was written by me, each book is written by a different person, and all the art, interior and cover, are different artists with each project too. So.
What is your process for finding artists and writers for the project?
Twitter. I mean, Portfolio Day on Twitter is our best is your best bet if you want to get our attention. That's where I do all of my browsing for new artists, and that's where we usually snag people from. Put your email in your Twitter, make sure it's in there, or at least somewhere where we can find it, and post on Portfolio Day. That's where we get our artists from. Yeah, amazing. Lots of amazing, like undiscovered, I don't know if it's the right word, but new talent that maybe is being overlooked elsewhere. So
Yeah, we use that. We have some projects going on here at the Gallant Goblin too, and we like to look in Portfolio Day. There's amazing talent out there that
sure.
just hasn't been picked up yet. So yeah, if you are an artist or a writer out there looking to get noticed, yeah, be sure you participate in that. I was going to ask you too. Are there any of the particular booklets that are closest to your heart? Maybe I know Daniel probably is, but
Yeah, Daniel was the first, obviously, and we've just started doing a so basically through the Patreon, those are kind of exclusive. Is the idea that they've got a stamp in them, like a physical stamp, and they've got a unique cover. But we have another artist now doing illustrations of all of the old ones again, and so that we can release them on our website, so that you can buy them individually, sort of in a non-collectible format. So it was cool to see him to return to Daniel and have that be re-illustrated and stuff, to see what another artist would take on it, and now we get to see that throughout all of them. As far as my faves, I mean, I try not to pick, but I'm very proud of Pork and Bean. It's a very different flavored Big Bad, because they're a duo, and I kind of gave them a shared legendary action list, so that that they can only use when they're close by each other, and they hate each other's guts, so they don't want to hang out together, which is a lot of fun. I'm a big fan of Acadia. I think she's number 5, or they are number 5. There's 3 of them. Just the concept of that one, which is the triplets who pretend to be a single wizard in order to find the magical artifacts that are going to help restore their mother's memory. So they have told the world that Acadia has invented this new form of the name of the spell escapes me, where it splits you into 3 different people, and claims that each one of them in this version of the spell can attack individually, when it's actually just 3 identical triplets. So it's fun, and it's one that I would love to have spawn into a whole world, but time is the issue there. So.
Oh, we understand that. Now, previously, once these have been out and released, you've only been able to pick them up as PDFs afterwards. Now, it sounds like y'all are working on a way of getting physical editions available again for the older ones. What does that process look like?
As far as how to get your hands on it, or when that's happening?
Yeah. If people want to go back and get these, is that coming soon? Or?
Yeah, it's in the next couple of months. Keep an eye on our Twitter and on our site, obviously, at hitpointpress.com. And yeah, we should be announcing soon. We're still getting the actual process together, and we want to have a good number of them to put up, finalized and put up on the site. There will be the first one Daniel will be releasing with, it was part of our creature double feature, I think last month in May. And so Patreon will be getting the first copies of that, but after that, at least Daniel will be available once it's in the patron's hands. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Have you thought about, I'm sure you have, compiling these into a book in themselves, just all together?
That's in the works as well. The Big Bad Book is coming out, well, or at least is on its way, or will be. It'll be a 2022 prospect. But yeah, we're very excited to get them all into. It'll be our first, because we're going to keep it to the same kind of 6x9 format. So it's going to be our first kind of small fat book as opposed to tall thin book, and I like that format a lot. It's gonna be chock full of stuff, plus with a bunch of surprises, hopefully. So
that's awesome.
No official dates to announce, but it's definitely in the works. So
now, I haven't read all of these because I'm trying to keep myself unspoiled, because I think these are great opportunities for somebody else to jump in and be the GM for the first time. And so I want to be a player in some of these. But as far as I can tell, there's not really much tying them together as like a overarching storyline or hints at something to come. But is there anything in there that I haven't seen yet that maybe is hinting towards something bigger coming down the line? Do y'all do any dropping little Easter eggs like that?
Uh, we have our kind of headcanon linked characters that just seem to fit together really well. A couple of them do have other big bads that have been written that are sort of tied to them. Acadia being one of them. Magda has a secondary big bad that is tied to her, and so yeah, we want to have some kind of paired big bads so that you can have more of a campaign as opposed to maybe a one shot or an arc of a campaign. Acadia in particular, because she's looking to collect artifacts. We're going to find ways to kind of tie that in with the other big bads. So Acadia might be trying to rob a few of our other big bads of their goodies. That's one of the connections we're thinking of making. So it's been a discussion around work about maybe coming up with ideas for worlds to put them in. It may become another booklet through a Patreon down the line that ties things together. But right now, our aim was to make sure you could just take it and drop it into your campaign setting, and not have to worry about adapting to whatever world they're in. You can make them part of your own. So. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's really awesome. Now, when you are coming up with new Big Bad Booklets each month, what is the process like for just coming up with the idea? Do you let the writers bring the ideas themselves? Do you all generate them in-house and farm them out? What does that look like?
Yeah, every Big Bad starts with a writer, and once we find someone who kind of works with our or fits the kind of style or what have you that we're looking for, I get them to pitch us 3 different ones. I try not to give too much. We don't often say we need a dragon or we need a golem or we need a whatever. We try and ask the writer to come up with original concepts without really seeing what else there is. There's no influence. But three pitches allows us to make sure that, okay, this one's kind of close to this big bad, so we can take that one out. It gives us some options. But yeah, it always starts with the writer, and we try and encourage them to be to come up with their the stuff on their own. And then after that, they do a first draft on their own, and then they work with one of our in-house content editors to kind of go back and forth on it to polish it up. By now, as we were saying, there's 20 some big bads. There's not a formula, but there's definitely a thing that we have in mind for each one. And so the content editor, pardon me, just makes sure that it's all following that format. And once that's done, it goes to copy editing so that it can be like all the grammar and everything can be checked. And that's when I start looking for a cover artist, because then we have enough information. The writer also writes the art description for the big bad. So, because I want to make sure that it's based on their vision as much as possible. And so I take that art description and go and find a cover artist, and then it's off to the races for that.
That's awesome. Now, it sounds like you've got several things coming up. You've got revisiting the older Big Bad Booklets and getting them out again as physical products. You've got the book coming up. You've got maybe the ideas of doing boss versus boss in some sort of situation. Is there anything else that you can tease for us about what might be coming down the line this year or next year or in the future?
For Big Bads?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's just going to be more of them. Oh, hey, cat butt.
Hey, and also tell us about your cat.
Oh, that's Frankie. She misses. I used to stream a lot more, and she kind of misses being the star of the show. I think she would have baths on camera all the time. Hopefully, she doesn't do that right now.
I'm not sure if Twitch allows that anymore. I think there's special tags on Twitch for that. So.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. We got to be careful. So.
Yep.
As far as big bads, I mean, what's important to us is making sure that there's a quality product coming out every month. The redo of the cover art is I think going to be pretty cool for a bunch of different reasons. It's just going to be nice to have the booklets accessible to people, but also the uniform art across all of them is going to be neat. It's going to feel more like we're aiming for like a weird Tales kind of vibe, like a comic cover, and it's just going to be really cool to have them all collected and compiled and all designed through the lens of one artist. We have some plans for the Big Bad Kickstarter. I'm hesitant to tell too much because again we're still in the early planning phases. But I will say the Big Bad book won't be the only book that's coming out with that. There will be a whole new, a whole separate a book that you will be able to add to your collection that will be brand new stuff created just for the Kickstarter. So that will tie in thematically with our Big Bads, but will be brand new stuff. So
I can't wait to learn more about it. Where, if people want to find you online, where can they find you?
Me personally, the best way to reach me is on Twitter at Made of Cartoons. If you want to get in touch with me at work, it's jordan@hitpointpress.com. And please send portfolios or anything. Writers, send your samples. And of course, bigbads.com if you want to sign up for the Patreon. And then hitpointpress.com if you want to learn more about our other stuff.
And there's so much stuff on your store over there at hitpointpress.com. I mean, y'all have expanded so much since those early days. I remember backing your very first Kickstarter when it was just the reference cards and just NPC cards and monster cards and weapon cards. And y'all have come so far and grown so much. Have you been with it since the beginning, basically?
Yeah, I was
doing those original cards.
I was. It was just me and Rico, who is our CEO now, I guess. But at the time, I was just working for him, and we were making magic tokens, which was our first product, custom art magic tokens that you can up your deck and make a nice magic card deck. And he asked me if there was any other things that I would like to do, and the SRD, the open license, had just come out for D&D, and I said, well, there aren't any 5th edition reference cards on the market yet. Let's do it, and that's how it started. So, yeah, I've been there since day one, and it's amazing to see just how we've expanded. Now we've got a dozen employees and even more contractors and things. So, yeah.
And bringing in outside projects too, and helping things like Sina Una, get to a bigger audience. Those really interesting projects from designers who may not otherwise get the attention that they deserve. So congratulations on all your growth and success. It's been amazing to be here with you guys, watching how well y'all have done.
Well, we appreciate all the kind words and stuff that you put out on our behalf too. I mean, your kind of breakdown of the Humblewood box set was one of the coolest things to see, where you were talking through everything. And I've been a board gamer and an RPGer for a long time, so it was just strange to see someone else open a box that I helped make when I've been watching other people's boxes be opened for so long. So it was really cool. So.
Oh, well, thank you. We are the Humblewood is my favorite campaign I've ever run. We're in chapter 3 of it now. I think we just finished chapter 3, and we're thinking about. I haven't really talked to my players about this, but maybe taking the game to Twitch at some point and just showing off how fun Humblewood is, because we're having so much fun.
That's awesome.
They just finished up the Bandit headquarters, and
nice.
I don't want to give too many spoilers, but I think that they were really amazed at what an impact they could have on this world, and not a lot of adventures really offer that. Like. It feels like the world exists whether or not the players do anything, and the way y'all put that story together where the players could have such a huge impact was really amazing. And it's just a fun world to play around in. We're having so much fun with it.
Our philosophy with Humblewood is that, especially with that first one, is that we wanted it to be not just a place where groups of people kill each other. There had to be nuance in the villains, and the Bandit General is one of my favorite kind of stories and characters. So she's pretty badass.
Benna Saradin, that was the one that really surprised my players too.
Yeah,
she was not exactly what they expected.
Yeah. So I'm really glad you're enjoying it. That's awesome.
Thank you. We're looking forward to seeing what new stuff is coming out from Humblewood, hopefully pretty soon, too. I don't know if you have anything you can talk about that while we have you.
Humblewood 2 is in the works. The world is being fleshed out. People who backed the first one have seen the world map of all the worlds. It's an incredibly ambitious expansion. Obviously, the Humblewood 2 isn't going to take place over the entire world, but we wanted to get we have lots of plans for Humblewood, and we needed to make sure that we were we knew a little bit about the direction we wanted to go in the hopes that a third and fourth and fifth book or perhaps potentially were coming out. And so we did create the rest of Everden, but even so, it's sort of a two continent spanning story that we're working on. Humblewood is like a little tiny pocket of the world compared to everything else. So we're very excited to share a ton of new stuff. Artwork is in process, writing is in process. We'll be showing off new stuff soon. So hopefully.
Well, y'all are making some of my favorite products out there. I don't want to keep you forever because I could pick your brain all day about all the projects y'all have going on. But maybe you can come back and join us when Humblewood and when your Big Bad Booklet books come out. So many projects. We'd love to have you back to talk about those.
Yeah, anytime.
Well, thank you for joining us today, Jordan, and we'll hope to see you soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Theo.
Thank you. Again, Jordan, thank you so much for joining us today. Hit Point Press really makes some of the most exciting products out there these days for D&D, and I'm so glad that we've been able to work so closely with them for the past few years. Let me tell you a little bit about the current Big Bad. This month, come meet Rereleasing, a demon who sows violence and chaos to satiate himself. Will you feed into his bloody desires? Or can you starve Rereleasing before he gets too powerful? Subscribe today at bigbads.com. And we also want to thank our friends and sponsor, Steamforged Games. Coming up on July 20th, you can board a ship for Animal Adventures, The Faraway Sea, the follow-up book to one of my personal favorite books, The Secret of Gullet Cove. These books open up a whole world of awakened animals for you to play in their own unique setting that you can fit right into your ongoing campaign settings. Perhaps you were a kitty who was just sleeping in a tree when a wandering druid or bard cast Awaken on the tree, and maybe you too, and now you find yourself with a newfound intelligence and language ready to set off on your own adventures. Or maybe you were the doggy companion of a lonely wizard who needed a new friend. No matter what your origin, Animal Adventures gives you the tools you need to tell your stories. Be sure to visit the link in the video description down below to be notified when the Kickstarter launches, and don't miss out on the Kickstarter exclusive Baby Kraken Mini. That's Animal Adventures, The Faraway Sea on Kickstarter July 20th. And thank you for joining us today. Don't forget to check out Fight Your Minis Tomb Tapper on DM's Guild. Also, if you're eager to jump into a super fun D&D campaign, consider joining my Patreon game. We have 2 slots open, and it's been just a blast so far. I'd love for you to come and join us. Learn more at patreon.com/thegallantgoblin. And you can also find us on Reddit, Discord, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Finally, liking the video and subscribing to the channel make you my personal hero. Thank you again to Jordan for joining the chat today, and for now, stay safe, have fun, love each other, and I'll see you next time at the Gallant Goblin.